Our eyes are a wonderful creation. The mobile phones we use have cameras of 64, 108 megapixels, but our eyes are equal to the camera of 576 megapixels. Why is that? About 20 lakh parts of our small eyes are working. Not only that, in our body, after our brain, the second most complex organ is our eyes. There are sensory receptors in our body. These absorb light, sound, smell, taste, touch, and send signals to our brain. Similarly, 70% of the sensory receptors in our body are in our eyes. Based on this, we can understand how complex our eyes are. Similarly, this is the reason why we are able to see such a beautiful world. Then how do our eyes work? How are we able to see this world? Some people have eyesight, right? What is sight? Why does sight come? Let's find out the complete information about the eye in this video. The light coming from the sun or a bulb falls on some object, and that light reflects and falls on our eyes, and we can see that object. Before we know how the light falls on, the eyes goes inside the eyes, and what happens there? Let's see what parts are there. In the eyes, there is a round dome-shaped cornea in the middle of our eyes. This is very clear and transparent. The living part without blood supply in our body is this cornea, because if there are blood vessels in this cornea, they are not visible to us, right? That's why there is no blood supply to this part. Do you know how the oxygen needed for this part is? This cornea takes oxygen directly from the air. Because this cornea is in a round shape, the light on our eyes is bent and makes it focus inside the eye. That's why this cornea is called the window of the eye. The white color next to this cornea is called sclera. We can see small blood vessels on this sclera. The inner side of our eye is connected to these 6 muscles called sclera and extraocular. These muscles are used to move the eye. Our eye is the muscle that moves the fastest in our body. There is a round black part in the back of this cornea. It is called iris. Each person's eyes are of different colors. Some people have brown and blue eyes. The iris contains melanin. There is a small black part in the middle of this iris. It is called as pupil. Many people think that it is like an eye, but it is a hole. Through this hole called pupil, light enters the eye. If there is more light outside, the pupil size will become smaller. So, less light enters the eye. If there is less light outside, the pupil size will become bigger. So more light enters the eye. According to the light outside, the less light enters the eye, the less the iris will appear. It controls the whole size of the pupil. Now there is a lens in the back of this iris. This is transparent. This lens changes its shape to focus on objects that are close and far away. When you come to see what is far away, these lenses will become flat. When you come to see what is close, they will bend. That's why these lenses have small stones attached to them. These change the shape and thickness of the lens. The light travels through this lens and falls on the retina in the back of the eye. Just like the film in the camera, the retina in our eyes is like that. The cornea, pupil, lens, and these 3 work properly to focus the light on the retina in the back of the eye. So the middle part of this lens and retina is filled with a fluid called vitreous humor jelly. The inside is filled with fluid so the eye gets a round shape. This is clearly without any color. If there is 99% water in it, the remaining 1% collagen, proteins, salt, and sugars will be combined. After crossing the lens, light travels through this fluid and falls on the retina in the back of the eye. The main work in our eyes happens in this retina. This retina is one of the most important parts of the eye. Cells on this retina. These cells turn the light on the retina into electrical signals and send it to the brain. These cells have 2 types of cells called rods and cones. Rod cells make it possible to recognize the difference between light and dark. They also make it possible to see in dark or low light. Next, cone cells. These are sensitive to colors. These are helpful to identify colors. These cones have only 3 types of colors: red, green, and blue. But with these 3 types of cones, we can recognize about 10 lakh colors. We know that these 3 colors are made up of many colors. Some people have color blindness, right? The reason for that is that something is missing in these cones, or the cone cells are not working properly, so they get color blindness. So they can't see certain colors. In this way, if the light on the retina is turned into photoreceptor cells, electrical impulses, those signals will reach the brain through a cable called the optic nerve. There are approximately 12 lakh fibers in this optic nerve. Through this, the electrical signals travel quickly and reach the occipital lobe in the brain. There, the electrical impulses in the brain are decoded and transformed into an image. This seems to be a very lengthy process, but it takes just 13 milliseconds to complete this process. Millisecond means 1,000 in a second. You can understand how fast this process is. So, if we look at everything, the number of eyes and the number of the brain is the same, because the light coming from outside falls on the retina, right? So, what we see falls on the retina in reverse. For example, the video you are watching now falls on the retina in reverse like this. But we are lucky that our brain reverses it and shows it correctly. Otherwise, we would have seen the whole world in reverse. Similarly, the brain adds many details like shapes, movements, and depth to our sight. When we see something, each eye view will be different. There is a slight difference between the 2 views. By combining those 2 views, our brain changes into an image. Similarly, if our brain has missing information, it can fill that part. That is, the optic nerve that takes electrical signals to our brain will be connected to any part of the retina. There won't be rod cells or cone cells in that part. That means there won't be photoreceptor cells there. So even if light falls in that place, we can't see that part. Vision doesn't work here. That's why that part is called a blind spot. There is a simple test to test the blind spot in this eye. Those who are interested can test it once. Here you can see an image, right? There is a mole on the left side of this. There is a plus symbol on the back side. Now, after telling you how to do this test, you can pause this video and keep this image visible on the screen without any pass symbol or forward or backward icons. Or, after the video is over, draw these symbols a little bigger on a paper and test it. First, close your left eye. Open your left eye. Now keep your phone or image close to your face. With that opened left eye, look at the left side of the shirt. Even if you look at the left side of the shirt, you will know that there is a plus symbol on the right side. Anyway, you look at the shirt and walk slowly away from that image. In the process of walking away from the image, the plus symbol on the left side of the shirt will disappear in one place. It is not visible. That is our blind spot. In that moment, the light on the plus symbol reflects and falls in the blind spot in our eyes. So that's why we can't see the plus symbol. Similarly, if you close your right eye and move away from the photo by looking at the plus symbol on the left eye, you can't see the shadow on the left eye at the same time. The light on the shadow falls on the blind spot in our left eye at the same time. That's why it is not visible. Since we have 2 eyes, another eye covers the blind spot in one of the eyes. So, the information that comes from those 2 eyes fills the missing information in our brain. So in this way, we are able to see by working with our eyes and brain. Nature has already taken all the precautions to protect such a sensitive and complex part of the eye. The eye is in the bony orbit, which is made up of bones, without any damage to such a dull eye. The eye is surrounded by protective fat. So they are protecting the whole body without any damage. Smog, heat, cold, blue light, pollution coming from electronic devices, all these are causing trouble to our eyes. To protect ourselves from these, we are constantly wearing glasses. When we blink like this, the smoke and dust on the eyes will be cleaned. Similarly, we don't know, but some tears are released continuously from the glands in our eyes. These tears form a layer on the eyes. It looks like lubrication. Also, there are natural disinfects in our eyes. These do not allow bacteria to enter. Also, the eyeballs on the eye will make the dust coming from the forehead not go into the eye and go to the side. The eyeballs will be protected from dust and dust falling into the eye. In this way, the eye will have complete protection. Okay, now the problem that many of us face is eyesight. Let's see why this eyesight comes. The light coming from outside first travels through the cornea, then through the lens. We said that the focus is on the retina behind the eye. The point where the light is focused is called the focal point. Normally, the focal point falls on the retina, and to make it clear to us, this lens will always be adjusting. But due to the imperfection in the cornea and lens, some people's light will be more refracted. That is, it will look better. Some people's light will be less refracted, front of the retina and back of the retina. Due to this, the sight appears a little blurry. Colors and movements appear slightly but not clearly. If this focal point is in front of the retina, it is called myopia, or short-sightedness, or nearsightedness. We can see what is close to us, but we can't see what is far away. If this focal point falls back of the retina, it is called hyperopia, or hypermetropia, or long-sightedness. They are called far-sightedness. They can't see what's near, but they can see what's far. This problem can be fixed by using glasses or contact lenses, or we can fix the sight with laser surgery. As we age, the flexibility of the lens in our eyes decreases. So it's normal to lose sight in old age. But due to some habits in these days, eyesight loss and eye-related diseases occur. For example, using mobiles, TV, laptops, not drinking proper water, not eating proper food, not sleeping properly, and smoking. Because of these reasons, your eyesight will get damaged. So if you have such habits, stop it now. Save this precious eyesight that we love. So, this is it, friends. I hope you understood how our eyes work. Also, did you test the blind spot in this video? If you did, let us know in the comments section whether you found your blind spot or not. Okay, friends, if you liked this video, like it and share it with your friends.